Session 25 of Unit 3 of 5th semester BBA Taxation of Mangalore University. In this session, we shall study about the assessment of cooperative society, meaning and characteristics. A cooperative society is often a voluntary association of individuals who come together with the intention to work together and to promote their economic interest. These societies work on the principle of self-help as well as mutual help. The primary goal is to provide support to the members. Nobody leaves a cooperative society without earning a profit. People of the same interest come forward as a group, pool their resources, utilize these resources in the best possible manner, and derive a common benefit out of it. It is an association of persons who voluntarily share their resources for using them for the mutual welfare of its members itself. A cooperative society is formed for the promotion of thrift, self-help, and mutual assistance of the members. Members of a cooperative society. According to the Cooperative Societies Act of each state, a cooperative society registered within any state under the law of that particular state is not allowed to operate in any other state without the permission and sanction of the government or registrar of cooperative societies of that state. In the case of a multi-state cooperative society, it can work in more than one state as a matter of right under the Act, and the permission of any other state is not required to do its business. The following are the individuals who may become members of a cooperative society at the state level as per the State Act. An individual competent to contract, attain majority, and is of sound mind and belongs to a class of persons, if any, for whom the society is formed as per its bylaws. A society registered or deemed to be so under the Cooperative Societies Act. The central government and any state government or the government of a union territory. Let us see the types of cooperative societies. Different types of cooperative societies registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 are Housing Society, Producer Society, Agricultural Marketing Society, Consumers Society, Cooperative Bank, and Federal Society. Objectives of cooperative societies. The primary objectives are promotion of cooperative movement, encourage and promote the growth of cooperative societies, render services not for profit, mutual help not competition, self-help not dependence. Let us see the characteristics of cooperative societies. Organization of the poor. The cooperative society has no scope for the membership of the rich. In fact, the major function of a cooperative society is to provide credit facilities to the peasants for productive purposes only. It does not give credit for fulfilling social obligations. A cooperative society is an association of the poor peasants for meeting their productive needs. Second is, membership is voluntary. Membership to a cooperative society is voluntary. A peasant should assess his needs and accordingly take membership to a particular society. A cooperative society has definite objectives, and those who find possibility of their objectives fulfilled should opt for membership. Third is absence of exploitation. A cooperative society inherently denies exploitation of its members and consumers. Basically, the society takes care of the mutual economic benefits of its members. In this way, The cooperative society rejects any exploitation which was the basis of the intermediaries. Next is the role of bank. The cooperative society cannot live to itself. The government, being welfare oriented, cannot remain a spectator only. It has to intervene and play its role in providing assistance to the peasants. It is on this theory that the RBI and other nationalized banks provide assistance to the cooperative societies. The RBI, being the apex bank, has made provisions for the working of cooperative banks. Fifth, subsidies. There is always some risk involved in advancing loans. Sometimes it so happens that due to flood and scarcity, the peasant is unable to repay the loans. Or it is also possible that the input technology has a price tag which is beyond the capacity of the peasant to purchase. In such a situation, some subsidy has to be given to the peasant. In other words, though the cooperative societies are autonomous, they are also guided and controlled through banks and government cooperative departments. References: